the hotel, chilling.
Jacob Sulecki press conference just ended. Eddie Hearn talked about a couple things. He made a joke about Canelo. He talked about Charlo.
Yeah, Charlo.
He threw some static.
After the, I don't know if y'all remember what happened at the Barclays Center.
I filmed it.
Yeah.
He said you all saw what Danny Jacobs did to Charlo in the corridor. Basically talking about, like, the internet perceived it at least, that that Danny got the better of Charlo.
He made him look weak.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that's the general consensus. But
would you want to see that fight?
Honestly, no. I mean, yes. As a boxing fan, yes, but not before. The reason I said no, not before Charlo and Triple G. That's my dream fight. That's my dream match. Like, if I could make the perfect pay-per-view, it would be Charlo versus Triple G and Tank versus Lomachenko as the co-main. That's impossible.
Who would you see first fair to fight Triple G? Jacobs or Charlo? Because Charlo got no losses.
I think
Charlo's mandatory. Well, you know what?
I kind of feel like he's ducking him.
You feel like who's ducking who?
Triple G ducking Charlo.
Charlo?
Yeah, because him fighting Charlo right now, he has everything to lose. Charlo is the only one that has nothing to lose fighting him. Like, he can fight him, and if he wins, he wins. He loses, he loses.
He got that
But you lose to like a great fighter. I don't feel like it holds that much weight as you lose. It's like a bum.
True.
Like, you know, with Broner lost to Maidana, it kind of elevated Maidana like to that stature where Floyd said, "Nah, I gotta fight him next." So it's a pretty tough one.
So if he get that loss and he gets back, next knockout.
Well, the thing is, here's what I predict, and this is going on record. I predict we're gonna get a trilogy with Triple G and Canelo. So Triple G's last fight, his next two fights are pretty much already locked in.
Yeah.
We might even see him lose bouts because the IBF, his mandatory is Derevchenko, who's actually part of the same camp as Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is fighting to be the WBA mandatory after this, whoever wins from this Sulecki match. So he'll be Triple G's mandatory. So Triple G has Derevchenko, Danny Jacobs, and Jamal Charlo already is his WBC, the green belt, mandatory.
Now,
the only way to bypass that is Canelo, super fight.
Yeah.
Sanctioning bodies will make an exception for a super fight.
Yeah. So you feel like, because Triple G was about to fight, I forgot the guy's name, but he could have easily picked Charlo to be this opponent for this next time.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna give him that much flack for it because it's on short notice. Albeit he was gonna fight Canelo, and Canelo's an A+ fighter, and so is Charlo. But that wasn't gonna happen. He wasn't about to take a whole different look, a whole different. Charlo's a different monster. This is tall,
technically sound,
just like he's the bigger man.
One punch KO power.
Like it's a different fight than fighting Canelo.
What about right now, Jacobs and Sulecki? What you think about that? Is that going to be a knockout, 12 rounds?
Well, I mean, it's fun because it's fun for a couple of reasons. Because there's a narrative behind it. Sulecki is the only guy to beat Centeno besides Charlo, and Charlo just beat Centeno. And Sulecki's also undefeated, so it makes for a nice build-up for Jacobs Charlo. That's the best narrative about it. Obviously, Danny Jacobs is favored in that fight, but Sulecki's undefeated. And you can't underrate anybody who's undefeated. And Danny Jacobs always makes for a fun fight. This is what makes fighters exciting. It's because he's been knocked out.
Yeah.
He can be hurt, so he's not invincible. So that makes any fight fun. So that's what I think about this fight. You have a fun fight between two guys who come forward. You're not like very likely the fight ends in knockout.
Let's transition. What do you think about Lomachenko versus Tank? Gervonta Davis.
If Lomachenko, which I believe he absolutely still could, if he wants to stay at 130, I mean, he's officially moved to 135. He hasn't fought there yet. He's going to fight Jorge Linares there. But if he's willing to fight at 130 still, that's the only super fight at 130.
Okay.
Tank and Loma are the absolute 1A, 1B at 130. Now, some people might say that, Loma is, way above him, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. If you look on the internet, but, I mean, who else is there? That's the super fight. That's it. And if you're talking about the two best guys at 130 pounds, it's absolutely Tank versus Lomachenko.
Do you think he's going to have to work his way up to 135 to fight him, or
now,
are you think he's going to be at 130?
That's the thing. Lomachenko recently, he did an interview saying, why didn't Tank want to fight me when I was at 130, etc. You know? So...
I mean, Tank is young, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's like... Some people might say that's an... Well, you know what? I think Tank is ready. I've always thought he was ready.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's a style matchup, you know, that Lomachenko's never seen. A natural 130-pounder, somebody who's always been at 130, who's extremely powerful, a knockout puncher at 130, and athletic and super fast. Like, Tank Davis is top 3 fastest at 130. And it's probably Ryan Garcia and Lomachenko, the only guys who have hand speed that you can even put with Tank. So it's a very interesting matchup. Now, but...
Who wins?
I mean, it's impossible to tell. It's really like fight night and what kind of fight they decide to fight. Because if Loma decides to box him and Tank is forced to put the pressure on, could be a different fight. You know, styles make fights. It really, there's a lot of ways that fight could play out.
I think he wins.
Who, Tank?
Yeah, Tank wins. Knockout.
Ooh.
It's not gonna be an early knockout.
Ooh, knockout.
I'll say like it goes like at least 10 rounds. At least 10 rounds. It's a knockout.
That's big right there, man. I mean, honestly though, Tank. Loma's stepping into dangerous territory.
Yes.
Because if he truly is moving and staying at 135, he has Mikey Garcia to deal with.
Mikey Garcia is a problem. I run it like I didn't. Like I remember when he fought Broner. I'm a huge Broner fan, and that man's a problem. Honestly, like he doesn't really have many holes in his game.
I'll bet with anybody if that fight ever happens at 135 or 140, that Mikey Garcia absolutely outclasses.
Yeah, I think he's too powerful. He doesn't really give you many holes to work with. Like it's hard to break him down. I think a lot of people have a problem fighting him. Honestly, I remember seeing views from Mikey Garcia trying to get Floyd to fight him. And it's kind of pointless. Like it's kind of pointless, especially now.
Mikey Garcia is that guy, man. He's my pound for pound number one.
Sure. I think Tank is the future of boxing. Personally, future pay-per-view stuff.
Crawford.
Crawford's nice. I mess with Crawford. He's a good boxer.
Honestly, man, it takes two to tango. You know, these super fights have to be made in order for these pay-per-view stars to be born. There already is Canelo. Now you can say Triple G. He's done his pay-per-views, etc. You got to get these guys to dance with each other. I mean, as much as these guys would like to say, "Oh, I don't need him," etc. You know, they don't. They're gonna see their $1 million, their 1.5 paydays. But Tank versus Loma, Charlo versus Triple G. You know,
these things have to happen.
They have to happen. Point blank period. Anthony Joshua versus Wilder, obviously.
Regardless of what you want to say about Mayweather,
50 wins.
He fought everybody. 50 most world champions. That's why that 50-0 mark, you got to respect it because he fought everybody. Regardless of if you felt like he past their prime or whatever, he dealt with everybody in the era. Period. For 20 years.
I think we can leave it on that, man. Kid Hyphens, KIDHYPHEN. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube, Blue L Boxing.
Blue L, no Brett J, no BRED_J, IG.
And stay tuned in.
I feel like we missed one thing.
Catch you. We just fuck around with this. See what we can turn it into.